Did we win? Well, it's official. McCarthy is Speaker. And all we got were concessions that we shouldn't have had to fight for to begin with. What's up, everybody? I am the Skeptical Realist. Let's take a quick look at these concessions and see what we think. Alright. Let's skip over all that crap. We're on CNN, by the way. We don't need to read that. We know what they're saying. Alright, let's get going with these hard-fought concessions. Any member can call for a motion to vacate the Speaker's chair. This is significant, according to CNN, because it would make it much easier than it is currently to trigger what is effectively a no-confidence vote in the Speaker. Okay, well, it's just changing it back to the way it was before Pelosi changed it, which is conveniently left out of this. It was like it for 100 years. One vote. One member. McCarthy should have had no problem with this. This shouldn't even have been part of the negotiations. He should have wanted to change this immediately when he became Speaker. Conservatives pushed hard for this, while moderates are worried it will weaken McCarthy's hand. Did it weaken the hand of all the speakers for the 100 years that it was in effect? A McCarthy-aligned super PAC agreed to not play in open Republican primaries and save seats. Okay. Why are they doing it to begin with? Why was McCarthy okay with it? Why are any Republicans okay with that? They shouldn't be. Anyway, what a safe seat? Who determines that? Isn't that subjective? Or it could be made subjective? No matter what, they're going to figure out how to keep doing the same stuff they've been doing. If they haven't already. I mean, maybe that's why they agreed to it, because they've already found a workaround. Got to keep that uniparty going. The House will hold votes on key conservative bills, including a balanced budget amendment, congressional term limits, and border security. Right. Well, I mean, that's great. That's great. Except for we don't have the Senate. And we don't have the presidency. So ultimately, it's not going to matter. Because nothing's going to be signed into law. It does force Democrats on the record, though, voting against it. But they always find a way to blame Republicans for doing so. Efforts to raise the nation's debt ceiling must be paired with spending cuts. This could become a major issue in the future when it is time to raise the debt limit to avoid catastrophic default, according to CNN. Okay, tell me your opinion. Because Democrats in the Senate and the White House would likely oppose demands for spending cuts. $32 trillion deficit. Oppose spending cuts. That's nice. Catastrophic default. Why would we have catastrophic default? Because these guys, maybe? Maybe? Won't we go into a government shutdown first? If we go into a government shutdown, then I'm all for it. Oh, what about all those people that are out of work? I mean, all the people that are out of work and don't get paid, except for when they finally come to an agreement and they get back pay. Move 12 appropriations bills individually. Yeah, all bills should be one appropriation. They should all be individual. Instead of passing separate bills to fund government operations, Congress frequently passes a massive year-end spending package known as an omnibus that rolls everything into one bill. That should be illegal. That should never happen. We need to have a safeguard against that crap. Conservatives rail against this. Oh, so you think it's a good thing. Arguing that it evades oversight and allows lawmakers to stick in extraneous pet projects. Arguing that it does that, or it does do that. So you don't agree that it does do that? And that conservatives are off base for doing so? Okay. Well, like I said, we need safeguards against that. I think, let's say, if they fail to do their job and it comes to an omnibus, then they lose their ability to run for re-election. Do you think they would not do their job then? More Freedom Caucus representation on committees, including the powerful House Rules Committee. Okay, that's good. That's kind of a big deal, right? But we're still depending on politicians to do their job. Do you have faith in that? I don't. Not yet. They haven't earned it. Cap discretionary spending at fiscal 2022 levels, which would amount to lower levels for defense and domestic programs. Would it? Would it really? No, it wouldn't amount to lower levels. What? In the future? No. They wouldn't get any less than they're getting right now. How is that lower levels? Because they should have had a raise, or they would have a raise going forward? Maybe. But it doesn't mean lower levels right now. Or in the future. It's nothing lower than what it is right now. 72 hours to review bills before they come to floor. 72 hours. Oh yeah, man. I have no problem. I can skim through 4,500 pages in 72 hours. No issues. What the... Again, if every bill dealt with only one issue or appropriation, they wouldn't need 72 hours. Anyway, they love when they don't have time to read it. Well, they can bitch about not reading it. They can look like they're being powerful and, yeah, I'm standing up for what's right. Yet they vote for it anyway. And then they can say, oh, I didn't have a choice. Yay for me. You can't blame me because I didn't have a choice. Give members the ability to offer more amendments on the House floor. Well, that's good. Kinda. If they're offering amendments, that means a bill they proposed and sent to the Senate got rejected or sent back with their own amendments in which they're going to have to compromise to get that bill passed. Is that good or bad? Also, the other swamp bitches aren't going to want to further conservative views. They just want to compromise to the lowest standard possible. Create an investigative committee to probe the weaponization of the federal government. Committee. Probe. Okay. What that has always meant to me is that nothing happens. Nothing happens to whoever or whatever the committee is supposed to be investigating. Look at all the shit that we already know. Is anybody being held accountable for that? No. Is anything going to change with this? Probably not. I mean, I hope it does. I hope it changes, but I'm not holding my breath. Restore the Holman Rule, which can be used to reduce the salary of government officials. Okay. Can it be used for anything else? Doesn't say. Could be used to reduce the salaries. Are they going to cut their own pay? Has that ever happened? If they did cut their pay, that just means that they'll try to get more money in some other way. They'll just work around it. More than what they're doing now. Their net worth is way more than it should be when they leave office. No politician should be allowed to invest in anything while they're there. And you know what? They should have an audit, a financial audit, every year, required, of these assholes. Did we lose? Are we still effed going forward? Will McCarthy stick to his word? Will he stick to the concessions? Should we have gotten more? Did the 20 fail to get more while they were doing this? If so, what else should they have gotten? Ultimately, it's up to us to follow along and see what the hell is happening, to assess what is happening, and give them hell if they don't follow along with what we want them to do. We have to make them accountable. We have to make them accountable. They will not make themselves accountable. They just won't. Well, that's going to do it for this one. Hit that like button if you think this changes nothing, or if you think this is the start of greater things to come. Hopefully the latter. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, share the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Before you go, maybe head over and check out the merch store. Yeah, click the link below. I've got 2 subscribers, and I've got a merch store. Who knew?